Everyone, today is November 13th. It is a Monday, 8:38 a.m. Yeah, so anyways, today I'm talking about stock market, specifically taking a break from cryptocurrency space, and looking at the indexes and focusing on that. So the Dow futures is down 84 points. It's currently 830. We'll probably see a drop at opening and a continued drop. There's a lot of geopolitical tensions and fear. Trump just got back from his trip to Korea. He's tweeting out about it. That Kim Jong-un called him old, which isn't really that big of an insult. I wrote this on Steemit. It's like my mom has come close to starting World War III over a lot of things, but being called old isn't one of them. You know what I mean? I don't know, explain it. So it's very childish and very distracting. I don't really know if North Korea is even really a threat to the United States. They are kind of, when you do see their homeland videos, they do seem very regimented. I guess the right word is, and they're under a lot of control, basically, whether it's mind control or physical control. It's a very extreme nation kind of thing, extremists kind of thing. But not away from my political views. I'm just more towards how this is going to affect the marketplace. A lot of uncertainty. Saudi Arabia and it just Saudi Arabia and Iran, possible war over there. There's a lot of things going on this weekend that are giving this sort of catalysts. And the fact that it's overvalued, right? People always look for, these type of catalysts in an overvalued market that would trigger some sort of bear market. There's a lot of reasons why it would go down, but it kind of needs something to knock all the dominoes over, to kind of unleash that chain of events. But also too, I pay close attention to the junior mining sector, and I noticed that right when the SEC, is delisting junior miners or forcing them to reverse split, you see a change in the markets, and that's also a very panicky time for junior mining investors because companies are getting delisted in the fall, and there are reverse splits going on. I thought this was odd, that, a couple days after these reverse splits were mandated or companies are delisted, you start to see a reverse in the gold markets as well, with the indexes. So, it's good a chance for SEC insiders to kind of pick up mining shares on the low. If you don't think that the market manipulation isn't tied with those that run the SEC, that's very foolish, because those that do run the SEC have knowledge of certain market changes, whether it's technical things like reverse splits or delistings, right? The SEC, if you're in the SEC, chances are you stand at an advantage in the marketplace based on certain restrictions, based on knowledge of, certain things going on with, regulations stocks need to keep on the New York Stock Exchange. For example, like stock price, because they'll delist them to protect mutual funds and other things if the price gets too low. So, which, I don't know. It's kind of far out, but it's also very coincidental. So. It should be interesting to see what happens, It will be. It's funny, I was at this networking thing, and it was for a tech startup thing, and this one kid was talking about how it was there's always those crazy people who've been saying it's going to crash. They've been saying it for years. It's I've been one of those crazy people, and it's yeah, I've been saying it for years. So, the closer it gets, it's gonna more of a chance. I mean, it's a long waiting game, and you know, when you just look at the fundamentals, there are no fundamentals. This market is completely driven on emotions and like fantasy. I remember Cliff High saying that once. How the stock market isn't run by fundamentals or data or statistics or things like that. It's all emotionally driven, right? Because there is no fundamentals to it. There is no people act like those running the economic system are like these perfect economists, and that's so foolish to think that, because when you look at humanity or society as one breathing whole, like no man or no group of men can really control or perfect harness of like economical movement that's happening day by day, right? In the grocery store, when people are trading goods and buying certain things, and the constant movement all the time. There's no way that anyone can perfect the distribution and the economical, I don't know how to explain it, the proper distribution of wealth, whether that's through corporate loans or student loans, money printing, whatever. So when people think that economies run on a stable sort of base, it's not how it works. So once the people will find out soon enough. Your financial advisor might be out of a job in the next 2 years. There's a lot of them out there. Holy smokes. Jeez, I'm going to oh my gosh, they're everywhere. People represent financial firms. But the thing is more lose than are out there representing, you understand? Like 1% of those people lose at some point. That's what people don't understand. It's amazing. But not that many people are invested or even have anything to invest in the first place. That's what's so hysterical. Most people don't even get hurt by they're not going to get hurt by the stocks dropping or nothing, but they get hurt by, the cutting of jobs, and it kind of ripples through society. And then Wall Street runs away with everyone's money again, And, but cryptocurrency is kind of a solution to that, I think, long term. Crypto and gold, Gold is kind of like the backup commodity. It'd be cool to see a crypto marketplace that's traded against gold, maybe, instead of, that'd be a cool idea for like a decentralized exchange, but you wouldn't even be able to do it because you can't like back something by gold, right? I think it'd be cool to like play it maybe against like ETF or something, like anything. I don't know how you would do that possibly in cryptocurrency, but it's really, because is cryptocurrency really decentralized if it's being traded against the dollar, right? Like that's not actually, like if the dollar's centralized and it's the only gateway against crypto, then crypto is actually not priced properly either, because it's skewed against what we perceive the dollar to be worth, versus something like gold, which is actually decentralized entirely in the sense that no one controls the amount of gold in circulation or things like that. So if you had a crypto marketplace that could play against gold and things, that'd be kind of cool, because then it's like completely free market. Even with it trading against the dollar, it's still, that's why it's so manipulated still, right? So, but you can imagine platforms as much as you want. So, but yeah, just pay attention to things. See where the indexes go today. This also might be a scare. They could pop right back up. This might not carry on until 2018, but we're definitely seeing an increase in volatility, I'd say. All right, peace.